proud of you for not saying something about having the missionary put you in missionary. Because, like...
I don't want to expose myself.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Like the Queens. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Victoria.
And this is our podcast.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. We have barely talked to each other all day. Mostly because Victoria left automatically in the morning.
I did.
But we also wanted to save things to talk about for today.
I did, and lots of things happened today, I think, for both of us.
Yeah, a lot of things did happen.
Yeah, but before we get into that, we noticed last episode that we kind of skipped over the fact on why this is called Like the Queens.
Yeah.
We completely grazed over that topic. So we're going to start the episode off with the reason why we named it Like the Queens.
So, this summer when we were in Wisconsin, there was a bar named Ted's that we like to frequent quite a bit.
Yes.
And there was one night, I don't remember like what was happening before that moment, do you?
No, I don't think so.
There was a live band, I remember that.
There was a live band, lots of dancing.
We went to go sit at the bar, and this man walks up to us, and he goes, "You're gorgeous. You girls are gorgeous." And
this man is so intoxicated. It's absolutely insane how he was walking at that point.
But he wanted to buy us drinks. And what do? We let him in buy us drinks.
We say yes. No.
Always say yes to free drinks. And so we're actually talking to him just to get this free drink out of him. We're terrible people.
Don't judge us.
And he's like, "So what's your names?" And did I say that right?
What? did you say what right? This man walks up to... I don't know what you're saying. This man comes up to us and he's like, "You guys are gorgeous." I know on the podcast you guys can only hear this sound, but just imagine.
He sticks his tongue out, grabbing his face, looking us up and down, going, "You guys are gorgeous."
Yeah, and we had to sit there and not laugh. But actually, there's the beloved garbage disposal.
That'll happen quite a bit.
We did laugh. Liz was almost peeing herself in the chair.
I was crossing my legs, squeezing my pee holes. I wouldn't pee myself.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, this guy comes up to us. He's telling us how gorgeous we are. And we're like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And he's like, "So what are your names?" And we introduce ourselves.
I say, "I'm Elizabeth."
And I'm Victoria.
And Victoria looks at this man and she goes,
"Like the Queens." And from that moment on,
that's how we introduce ourselves
to everyone. And this was like our first weekend in Wisconsin. So like every weekend, we would get at least one person to bow down to us.
We would.
And that is the respect that you should get. I feel like that's the respect we deserve.
If a man is not bowing down to you at a bar, he shouldn't be talking to you.
I agree. So yeah, it just kind of stuck from there. But that is the story behind Like the Queens.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up because I didn't know if we should bring it up this episode or another time, but I'm really glad we decided to go ahead and just get it out there.
I feel like we should get it out there.
So people know we are actually Like the Queens.
It is our actual names. And
it is. It's how we introduce ourselves as, like, when we're out in public together.
Yeah, it's really catchy.
It is catchy.
Okay, so now that we have that topic out of the way...
You want to tell them what happened to you today? Or do you want to tell me something first that you've been dying to tell me?
No, you know what? I'll tell them what happened to me today because I'm a little upset about it. So, there she is.
We're just going to ignore that.
I went 30 minutes into town today to go to the chiropractor because she needs it. My back needed to be cracked, my neck needed to be cracked, and it did happen. Thank you to the Joint Chiropractic. They're a wonderful place. You should go check them out. Anyway, in that same town is a Asian cuisine, I guess.
Yeah,
is what it is. Ease, the restaurant Ease, which I was taken to by Liz for the first time about a week ago.
Yeah, mostly because I missed the cute bartender that was there.
I
hadn't haven't seen him in 3 months, and I love the sushi there, and I love the crab rangoon dip, so I had to go back, but I really just wanted to see the hot bartender.
And we did see the hot bartender when we went a week ago.
We did. Long story short, Victoria left him my number on the receipt, and I never got a text.
But that's
his
okay.
loss. I'm fine.
His loss.
Anyway, Victoria went back to this place a week later.
I went back to this place today just to get some to-go lunch for myself to take back to the house after my appointment. So I was in the curbside pickup, parallel parking spot thing that they do it in. So they give me my bag, and I'm leaving the spot. I'm about to drive home when all of a sudden this car comes around the corner, and I started pulling out of the spot. This car was speeding down this one-way road.
There is a stop sign right there. Like, he should have stopped.
There's a stop sign at the corner, and he was turning. And I believe the speed limit in this area is 20?
Yeah.
At most, because it's a downtown area. So I'm pretty sure he didn't stop. Pretty sure he was speeding. He turned the corner. I started driving forward. I scraped the side of his car. My left driver's side bumper, I guess the fender of it, is that what it's called, is
damaged.
It's damaged. It's pretty damaged, but it was fine. I guess we pulled over, we got the police report, but it was just really annoying. It took half an hour out of my day that I did not need to be on the side of a road. But the man that I hit, who also kind of ran into me, we weren't putting blame on each other.
It was both.
But it was definitely both of our faults. He turned out to be one of the nicest people that I ever met. We sat down while we were waiting for the police to show up. We were just chatting. He's from Charlotte. Yay. And I was like, I just got a job in Charlotte, and we chatted, and he was like, well, when you come back, you should definitely hang out with me. And I was like,
you just hit this man's car.
I just hit your car. But thank you, I definitely will. So he ended up being really nice. The police did their thing, and we said our goodbyes. He had a lunch date with his friends.
Aww.
And I had to go eat my lunch all by myself, so.
But not anymore. When you come back to Charlotte, you have a new friend now.
I know. So we may have gotten into a little car wreck today, but it all turned out fine.
I just think the craziest thing out of all of this is that you and I both got our cars
less than a week apart.
Yeah, less than a week apart, we got our cars damaged.
Yeah. Truly had to call the police.
Yeah.
About a car wreck that happened to the both of us. So
I mean, I don't know how to say I wasn't in the car, so it was a little different for you.
Yeah.
You had a car accident, my car just got wrecked.
Right. Which makes it a little more unfortunate for you.
Yeah, it does.
I'm so sorry, my condolences.
It's okay. It's fine. But I just think that both of our cars got damaged this week together. But I mean, best friends that get their cars wrecked together stay together.
Stay together. So and that's how it's gotta be.
I think we'll make it through this.
And luckily my 2010 Hyundai Elantra is still drivable.
Lucky you.
And she's still gonna be driven, because I have no shame.
I wish.
Too soon.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
But yeah, that was the most dramatic part of my day, I think.
What was the other thing you wanted to tell me?
Oh, okay. The other thing I wanted to tell you was, so we aired our first episode yesterday, and on the way to my chiropractor, I called my grandpa because I wanted to tell him about my new job in Charlotte. And he picks up the phone, and we get over the celebratory job in Charlotte, and he says, I listened to that podcast with you and your friend. And I said, oh, did you like it? Did you enjoy it? And he was like, what is all this talk about you and these boys? And I was like, I said, Grandpa, that was so mild. And he was like, oh, you are bad. And I was like, well, be careful for what you listen to in the future.
If only he knew.
If only my poor grandpa knew.
Sweet
and
grandpa.
He will probably listen to this, and I mean, you're gonna find out. So it might as well just
I love
put
that
it
he
on the
listened to
table
this,
for.
though.
He did listen to it.
I don't know if my grandparents know how. So if they listen to this, I did not mean to insult you.
It's okay, but it was really sweet of my grandpa to listen to this.
That was so sweet.
But just fair warning, I don't know what topics we'll get into next.
I think fair warning to all of our friends and family that are listening, watching this. We're adults.
Yeah, we are full-grown adults.
We're full-grown adults. You can't punish us anymore. We're not. We're not children.
We're just having a good time. Live while you're young.
We're living our best life.
Yeah. So that was one thing that happened to me on the phone today, was my grandparents just calling me out and saying, what happened there? And I said, well, I had to expose myself at some point, and it had to be today.
The Frenchman?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
It wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't even that bad.
No, I asked my mom, I was like, do you think we were, like, too raunchy or whatever? And she goes, no, I feel like a 14-year-old could listen to this. But if you really do start, like, talking about other things, then I think your audience is going to not be able to reach 14-year-olds anymore.
Right.
And I'm like, you're right. This is true.
This is true. But we'll just have to see. But I thought that was really funny. But thank you to my grandparents who listened to this.
Shout out to your grandpa.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Will you please tell them about the missionary?
The missionary. Oh, okay. So about, what was this? In April of this year, like a while ago, I got a friend request from this man that was from my hometown back in Florida. And I saw that we had some mutual friends on Facebook, so I accepted his request. And he ends up messaging me this video, and he's all up in his, like, Mormon button-up.
I think he's Mormon. Did you look it up?
I didn't look it up.
I think he's Mormon.
I don't know. But he's all done up, and he sent me this video of him and his friend. Who's also cute. And they were just like, hi. They introduced themselves, and they're like, we like to spread the word of the Lord to our followers and friends. And I was like, okay. And I didn't respond to them because that's just not my thing. I just didn't want to respond to that. And he sends me a message about a week later, and he's like, did you get a chance to watch the video? And I ignored it again. And then about a week later, I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to respond to this cutie because they were really cute in the video. I showed Liz today. And I go, yes, I did. And he was like, well, what did you think of it? And my response was, well, for starters, I think you and your friend are really cute.
I love how you're just so upfront and honest automatically.
But then I sent another text underneath, and I was like, but I love what you guys are doing for people. And from then on, he just kind of responded, and we've just been talking for, almost a couple months now, I guess.
It's a couple months.
April, May, June, July, August. So...
Well, now we're in September.
Yeah, so about 5 months now. And it's just been, like, very, very casual conversation. We talk about what we're doing for the day, new adventures he's been going on, because he goes on mission trips.
Aww.
Yeah. Talk about major things. I told him that I got my job in Charlotte, and he was so happy for me. Yeah.
This random dude on Facebook has become your friend.
Truly, he is a really good friend of mine, I would assume. I've never met him in person, though.
But you guys are.
But we guys. Rewind. Yes, I do want to meet him in person, and I think that when I go back to Florida, I convinced him to meet up with me. Just for a little chat.
Yay!
But yeah. So this poor little religious boy. I don't even know what to call it. This poor missionary, who I was just playing around with, telling him that he was cute, is now one of my good friends, and I can't wait to meet him because I think that he's a genuinely, like, really nice guy.
I'm just proud of you for not saying something about having the missionary put you in missionary. Because, like...
I don't want to expose myself, but that was one of the first thoughts that crossed my mind.
I know you. I know you so well.
Can you get a missionary to put you in missionary?
I come from a really religious household, and I say anything else besides that comment, my family will murder me. So
I don't think I would ever feel comfortable or put that pressure on anybody. But
especially a missionary.
It's so sweet.
Missionary.
So thank you. I don't know if you're listening. You know who you are. Again, not naming any names, but...
Oh, well, I hope you didn't hear us just say that about him.
Yeah, we may cut a little bit.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
No, we're not cutting that.
We'll see. I'm in charge of this podcast.
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, really good friend that I met just on Facebook because he decided to reach out and friend me one day, and I feel like that's all it takes.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be just online dating. You can be online friending. You can make friends like that.
I agree. So that's kind of what happened with me today. I don't think anything crazier than my car accident and my grandpa
I mean, that is pretty crazy.
exposing me happened today.
No, that's a pretty crazy day.
Yeah. So Liz.
So, Victoria.
Did you have a pretty crazy day as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me.
So, I matched with this guy named... I'm not going to share his name.
Okay. She matched with a guy on...
I matched with a guy on Bumble. I find that Bumble is my favorite dating app. It's the most guys I've gone out with. I've been through that. He's a firefighter. And I was like,
Something about a man in
a uniform.
Yeah.
And especially that he was a firefighter. I was like, ooh, he can set out my fire. He can set out my fire.
You're like, suddenly I'm hot.
Suddenly I'm really hot up in here. I'm like, I think I need to call 911.
Oh my
and
gosh.
request for his station.
Yes.
So we've just been like messaging, not a lot. Like I didn't know much about him going into this. He's a little bit older than I am, like 8 years older, which I find that like the best. I click and get along a lot better with guys who are older than me.
I completely agree.
They seem to be a lot more.
Agree.
They seem to be a lot more mature, and so I didn't really care that he was 8 years older than me.
Right.
So we planned to meet in the middle because he lives in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I told him about this restaurant that my family and I always go to when we're going to the, coming home from Charlotte, the airport. It's just like our, let's stop here and eat before we go home. Yeah. And so I texted him the address and we agreed to meet there. We got there around literally 10 seconds apart, and he showed up in this red fancy, I don't know cars, but it was red and fancy, okay?
Ooh, okay.
And any car that's red and fancy, a guy likes cars.
Yeah.
And so he gets out, he's wearing a t-shirt and shorts and a ball cap. And so my first impression was, oh, he didn't really dress up for the date.
Right.
This is what I wore. I think it's cute. It's cute but casual, okay?
Yeah, I like the little top of it.
Yeah,
it's like a mesh thing.
Thank you.
I like it.
So I thought I'd put in just a little bit of effort, It's just a casual restaurant, but not a t-shirt. We hugged, we walk in, he opened the door for me, he was really nice.
Okay.
And so we started talking, and it turns out he just came back from work, so I can't judge him on the t-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's completely fine that he's wearing a t-shirt. Don't judge him by its cover. It's not because he didn't care, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But yeah, he had been up the entire night. They got 4 different calls at the station last night, so he hadn't slept.
Wow.
He was, I could tell, I didn't know if he was there was a sadness about him, or if he was tired.
He was just exhausted. Yeah.
And quiet. But I think overall it was just because he was so exhausted.
Right.
And he still made the effort to go out with me.
I was about to say, that's very kind.
It was really kind.
Yeah.
And he immediately off the bat was just very open with me. And automatically, I want to say 10 minutes into the conversation, he was like, yeah, my ex-girlfriend, well, she was actually my fiance.
Oh,
okay. They were engaged, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's no problem. I don't care if you talk about this or share anything with me like that. And he's like, I can tell, he goes, I know you're 22. He brought it up. He's like, I know you're 22, and he goes, but I can just tell from speaking with you that you're so much more mature than other women I've gone out with. And I'm like, he goes, some people just shut it down, talking about your past relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it should be a topic of conversation, especially a person who was your fiance, someone who was in your life for so long. They were together for 8 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they broke up in 2020. I mean, so did my relationship.
And what year is it?
2021. I never know the year, okay? I never know the year. I had to think about that when I was sitting there at dinner with him. He's like, 2020. I know you did. I was like, but my relationship ended in 2022. Yeah.
Not 2022. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, 8 years.
8
That's
years.
a really long time.
Yeah.
To be engaged to somebody, or they were just together
I don't know
for 8
how long
years?
they were engaged,
Okay.
but they were together for 8 years.
Okay.
The whole reason he's here in Charlotte is because they moved down here together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so when they broke up, like, he was honest about, like, how he was thinking about moving back to New York. He's originally from New York.
Okay, fun.
And but he likes North Carolina better.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. And so, he was talking about how he was lonely. He didn't have any friends here. But now he does. Like, he was talking about, like, just, like, at that initial point.
Right.
And how he was in a controlling relationship. Like, his girlfriend wouldn't let him hang out with friends and stuff like that. Yeah.
Red flag.
Yeah. Big red flag.
Yeah.
And so, he was just very honest and open about that, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I was in a long-term relationship, too. Not 8 years, but 3 years with someone. And when the past 3 years of your life has been consumed by one person, it's so hard not to bring them up. It's so hard not to talk about, like, the things you did,
Right.
the stuff, like, you guys experienced together, because you do experience a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you travel to weddings, you go to different states, like, so much happens with that person. It's like your best friend. Like, how do you not talk about your best friend?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And so we were both, like, very great about that. I learned about, like, the movies and stuff he likes, which are, like, different than mine. Like, a lot of documentaries and, like, average, normal things. I have a horror thriller. Like, it's fine. We don't have to like the same thing. The thing that scares me the most about our personality is that I asked him if he likes to go out and, like, to bars and clubs. And he's like, no, not really. Like, he'll go out if his friend group wants to. And he didn't ask me back. So I didn't tell him that I'm a nutball and I love to party.
Party animal.
Yeah.
Oh,
party
okay.
animal. I was just like, yeah, I love live bands. I love live music. I will always go out to a live band.
Right.
Live music. That's the most, like, I said about that. Again, it's a first date. I don't have to be like, oh yeah, I go crazy every weekend.
Yeah, you don't need to expose yourself that much.
I don't need to expose myself like that. I'm trying to think. He had the prettiest brown eyes I've ever seen. And they were just sweet and soft. Like, I don't know. I could just stare at his eyes all day.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I really liked his eyes. He was handsome. He was a very handsome guy. I found him attractive, and he was kind. I think overall, like, it was a very calm, chill date. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And I think we needed, like, a different environment, like, definitely after he slept, to, like, really get to know his personality better.
Yeah.
Because I could tell there was just, like, a weight to him tonight.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But as we were leaving, we were walking out and talking, and we were standing in the parking lot, and he's like, well, what are you doing tomorrow? And I know!
Okay.
And I was like, well, not really much. I have to pick up my brother and stuff. Like, I can't be out late because I can't leave my brother home alone. And he goes, no, I'm not saying, like, late. I'm like, he's like, what about, like, in the morning? Like, would you want to go out in the morning? Or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, how about you text me? And he said, okay. And as soon as I got home, like, literally, like, 5 minutes later, I got a text from him. And, like, he's wanting to see me again. And yeah.
That's exciting.
I know. And he's definitely someone I'd go out with again. Oh my gosh, I didn't even tell you the most important part about the date.
Oh, okay. What is it? Tell me.
I've never had any guy do this on a date.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
When our food came, he wanted us to pray together.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Okay. That is
know.
so sweet.
I know. And, like, we were just both, like, sitting there. Cause I thought he was religious. I thought he was from, like, based on his profile and everything. And we were just, like, both sitting there for a moment, like, looking at each other. And I'm like, so do you want to, like, chow down? Or, like, and he's like, I didn't know if you, like, wanted to pray or something like that. I'm like, yeah, like, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you want me to pray? Or, like, do you want to pray? He goes, you can pray. And I'm like, okay.
You pull out the God is great. God is good.
I was about to do that. I did something short, sweet, simple.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated that because I have not had a relationship like that or been out with someone like that in a long
That's never
time.
happened to
Not
me.
not even my 3-year relationship was like that.
Right.
My first relationship was, even though like he wasn't the greatest guy, like that's something I appreciated about him.
Yeah.
Was how he always had us pray before we ate, and that's something I miss having in a relationship. And I was like, oh, okay, this feels like really nice and something like I want to do with a family, with a husband one day.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, that's the part I missed in the story.
Okay. I like that. I think that's really sweet.
Thank you. And so I'm gonna open up my messages.
Ooh, we're getting live receipts, everybody.
He texted me and he said, I had fun. It was great meeting you. This is when I got home. I said, me too. Thank you again for dinner. He goes, of course. Would you want to meet up tomorrow? I said, I'm down. Were you thinking coffee, breakfast, or an early lunch? If it's somewhere in Charlotte, it would have to be earlier so I can pick up my brother. He goes, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. You're more than welcome to come to my place too. And I said, to hang out, or are you hinting at something else? Just need to clarify. Ha ha. He goes, ha ha, either or.
Oh.
So things took a turn.
Things took a turn. After you just told me he wanted to pray
exactly.
before the meal,
And like you just
there.
you just like wanted to pray, and you were talking to me. He also was talking to me about like how religion has changed his life.
And he said either or.
Like no tea, no shade at all. But he gave me like a really false like perception of him and like what he was wanting on this date.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, were you trying to wine and dine me?
Was this the goal all along?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me
question. And like I
happening.
understand he just got out of an 8-year relationship. He's probably wanting to go a little crazy, wanting to meet a lot of girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not knowing if he is. That's just like what I'm saying. He could be doing whatever he wants. That's fine. But like that's not what I want. Like I wanted to get to know him, and now he's automatically inviting me over to his place.
Right. I think that men think that if they buy you something that
you'll take your pants off.
Yeah, I do think that's a real issue.
I do too.
In dating culture nowadays.
It is.
And I truly can't stand that, especially because he was so sweet and he was very open with you. Like, why not just be open about that too?
Yeah,
you know?
and I put it out on the table with him. I told him the truth. I was like, I'm not down for that. And I'm like, if you're looking for that, like, that's fine. I don't care. But, like, you're not going to get that from me.
Yeah, that's not what you're getting
That's
from
not
me.
what you're going to get. And he was like, okay, that's fine. Like, he was pretty, like, good about it.
Right.
And I'm like, we can hang out.
Literally hang out, that's it.
We
can
hang out.
go grab a
You wanna buy me
coffee.
coffee?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I haven't texted him back yet.
Okay.
But that's where we are now.
Right.
I think he seems pretty cool about it and very, like, I'm fine with whatever. That's what he seems like. And so I'll be like, you know what? We can just meet somewhere out in public tomorrow and hang out. And if not, like, we're just going to cut ties.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You don't really owe him anything.
No, I don't owe him anything.
The first
And,
date,
like,
though.
you're a fireman. You have all sorts of skills and weapons I don't have. Like, you could murder me
Truly.
with your fireman axe.
Yeah. Kind of wild.
Yeah. Like, you're really hot in your uniform, but I'm terrified to come to your place.
Tea.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, now I don't know. I don't know how to review this man.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, would you go out with him again? But I guess that's a big question mark.
No,
right now.
I would. If he's fine with not expecting or, like...
Anything more. I understand.
Than a date, like a conversation.
Right. So, out of 10, how would you rate this date?
I'd give it a 6.5.
I was going to say 6.5.
Oh my god!
So you're on the same. I knew you were going to say that.
Page.
And that's how I would rate it too, just from hearing it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dinner date. It wasn't, we didn't go out and do anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was very relaxed, and we got our food in under 45 minutes. Like, we got our food really, really fast.
Come on, quick service.
It was very quick.
Yeah.
And so, like, we did sit and chat for a little bit because of how fast, like, the service was. But yeah, it was a good date.
Yeah.
Just not much to share besides those few details.
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had a good date today and a bad wreck today. I'm just kidding. I'm happy that your date went really well.
Thank you.
And I guess we'll find out soon. Did she meet for coffee in the morning?
Did I go on a coffee date? So what we decided we're going to do with the podcast is we're going to release 2 different things a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the goal. Wednesday and Saturday. So Wednesday, I'll say it's probably in the evening that we'll release it. We don't have like certain times yet for our every week one. But Saturday, we're going to do a Friday night recap. And we're going to go over what we did on our Friday night. Usually in Wisconsin, I'd say we did something crazy every Friday night.
Yeah.
But now, no, it's a little different. Like, tomorrow, I might be going on a date. Victoria's going on a date. So, we have other things to talk about and other types of events that are going on in our lives. So, each Saturday, hear about our Friday night recap and what's been going on.
Yeah. So, I think it'll be really exciting to see what's to come after
Me
this.
too. So, do all the things. Like, rate, review, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends because I'm having fun with this.
I'm having a good time too.
And I hope you guys are as well.
I hope you're laughing and enjoying this as much as we are.
And watching us try to figure out what we're doing.
Correct.
Because we have no idea.
We have no clue, but it's okay.
It's
fun. It's all in the process.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out as we go.
Exactly.
Well, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Victoria.
Like the queens.